Thank you very much, Laura. For more on this, let's bring in the British High Commissioner to South Africa, Nigel Casey. A very good evening to you, High Commissioner. Thanks indeed for your time. So how do these fresh restrictions impact, for example, South Africans working or studying in the UK?
Well, good evening. Thanks for having me on the programme. Look, the context is that we are firmly discouraging people to travel to and from the UK at the moment. For Brits living in the UK, it is illegal to travel on holiday outside the UK, and only really permissible to travel for essential reasons, urgent compassionate reasons, urgent medical treatment, or urgent essential work. So we are in the business of discouraging travel. We've formally advised people not to come on holiday to South Africa ever since the pandemic started here last year. That hasn't changed. So there aren't the usual numbers of British holidaymakers here, and South Africans resident in the UK, those who have long-term residency, will be able to return as normal if their journey is essential.
Yeah. High Commissioner, I mean, from Monday, all international arrivals, whether under home or hotel quarantine, will be required by law to take a further test, I understand, on day 2 and day 8 of that quarantine. Does one have to book for these tests before they travel?
Well, the booking portal will be open tomorrow, and that's where people can go for details of hotels and tests. If you're not coming from a red list country, you do have to make those booking arrangements before you travel. If you are coming from a red list country and you're going into hotel quarantine, then I believe the arrangements will be made as part of that package. But for more details, we'll be publishing those when the portal's open for bookings tomorrow.
Yeah. What happens then if post-arrival the tests do come back positive?
Well, then the person in question would be obviously going to be staying in quarantine for as long as it takes until they are tested negative before they're allowed to leave quarantine. They will, of course, have had a PCR test, a negative PCR test, before they get on a plane here in South Africa or wherever else they're coming from. And so these are extra layers of precaution and safety which we're adding in to try and stop the transmission in the UK of a second highly transmissible new variant like the one we have ourselves.
Our correspondent Laura, in her package, indicated there was not any indication how long these restrictions would last. Perhaps, do you have any update? I know that information keeps coming through. Do you have any update on possibly how long these restrictions will be in place for?
There's no end point which has been set, and I think logically we would need to make a lot more progress with our vaccination program and get much closer towards achieving population immunity before it would be sensible to start lifting these measures. But that's to be decided by our ministers on scientific advice in the coming weeks and months.
Yeah. Tough restrictions also accompanied by tough fines, I understand, that have been put in place for non-compliance. About £1,000, I understand, for any international arrival who fails to take a mandatory test.
Yeah, look, we have put tough fines in place, and the threat, as you mentioned in your report, of a prison sentence for people who are caught lying to border officials about where they've been in the last 10 days. So, we are trying to deter travel in order to protect public health, and that's the signal we are trying to send loud and clear to the public, that if it's not essential to travel, please don't, and that travelling out of the UK is actually illegal except for the reasons I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, but for those who must travel, are you offering any assistance as the High Commission to assist those who... I have a friend, for example, whose daughter goes to a school in the UK. She's been in South Africa for quite a while, but she'd have to go back at some point. What assistance will you be offering people who have to simply go?
Well, as I said, those with residence rights, which can mean people who have long-term visas for work or for study, will be able to enter the UK. So that's quite a lot of the kind of people that you are thinking of. They will have to go through the same process as everybody else in terms of booking flights and hotel accommodation.
Yeah. The British High Commissioner to South Africa, thank you very much indeed for joining us this evening.